Right, section 5, formatting paragraphs and lists. I mean, we're going to talk about paragraph spacing, line spacing, indentation, and bullets and numbers, okay? So to demonstrate paragraph spacing, what I need you to do is we're just going to go down to the first paragraph. There it is. Okay, this is a paragraph, okay? What we're going to do is we're gonna make this into two paragraphs. So what I want you to do is I want you to click just before the word currently. So just click just before that word. Left click just before currently and press enter on the keyboard. Okay? So we've created two paragraphs. And so what is paragraph spacing? Indentation? No. Indentation is how far from the left or the right the text is from the margins. Spacing, paragraph spacing is the space between your paragraphs. That is it. Yep. So let's do that now. If we want to put a space between these two paragraphs, we don't necessarily have to highlight both of them. We can just highlight the first paragraph like this, okay? Or triple click if you remember that one. 3 clicks, highlight the first paragraph, and head over to your paragraph drop down box. Okay, so highlight the first paragraph and click on your paragraph drop down box. So if you look at this window, you will see that you have several sections here. You've got general alignment, and that means, is your text to the left of the page? Is it in the middle? Is it in the right? You've got indentation. You've got a left. Is your text, how far from the left margin is your text? How far from the right margin is it? You've got your spacing is down in this section here. You have before spacing and after spacing. Now, your before spacing is simply the space that's before your paragraph. Yeah? And the spacing after is a space after. So it's really simple, isn't it? Let's change the space after to 6 points. So I'm just going to use these arrows up here next to this point here. Just click up 6 points. Okay? Note you can also just type 6 in the box and that will do the job as well. Okay, you can also even see in this preview window down here how things are going there as well. So click on OK when you've done that. And have you noticed anything? Yeah, you got a bigger space between your paragraphs, and that's pretty cool because if you were continually creating paragraphs, the space will automatically adjust to 6 points each time. Okay, so it's always good. Makes your work look a bit more professional. You have control over the spaces between your paragraphs. Okay, and it's I know, like when you're writing in English, you have these sort of things as well, where you have a full stop, you start a new line, and I remember you skip a line to start a new paragraph. Remember they used to do that? If you're doing a new paragraph on the line of the paper, you skip a line and you start writing. Indented it. Oh, from okay. Well, you mean or the space between is also called indent, is it? Oh, you mean from the line from the very yeah? That is indentation. Yeah, because the space which we'll come to in a bit. Um. Yeah, I know. So that's your paragraph. But what about line spacing? What's your line spacing? Spaces between lines. Okay. So take for example, let's highlight the second paragraph. I'm just gonna triple click on it because triple clicking is cool. Um, So we highlighted the second paragraph, and now we're going to go to your paragraph drop-down box again. And you're going to head over to line spacing. And you're going to change it to 1.5 lines. And click OK. Now I'm going to have a look, come around and make sure everyone's getting this. I'm going to click OK, and you will see that the space between the lines has changed on the second paragraph because I applied a line spacing to it. Right, indentation. All right, we talked about indentation, and that basically is the. If you look at our paragraphs here, we can see that if you look at our ruler, okay, it's roughly lined up with 0 on the ruler. Will you agree with that? Yeah. If that's 0 and that's 1, then that is approximately on 0 on the ruler, which before that is our margin. So when you indent objects on a page, it moves away from your margin, either from your left margin, or you can actually bring it in from the right side as well. Okay? And to do that, let's highlight both of our paragraphs one more time. I'm just going to click and drag for this one. And we're going to go back to our paragraph drop-down box. And in this section here, you've got indentation, and sure enough, you've got left and right. Left and right indentations is all here. And you only really need to do this once. 1 centimeter is enough, is more than enough, really. Okay, not 0.1, 1 centimeter from the left. And click OK. And it moves to 1 centimeter on your ruler. See that?
For some reason, all of my text has been moved to the 3 meter.
Were they all highlighted before? They must have all been selected, I think.
What are we doing left?
Yeah.
That whole paragraph, the whole two
The
paragraphs.
whole page is one.
Yeah. What you can do is undo. Just if you undo once, use the undo button and go backwards.
What was the numbers we're using?
Now, at level 2, there's something called a special first line indent that you might as well know about it now. If we go back into that paragraph drop-down box, in your indentation on the right-hand side here, okay, you've got something called special, and if you click on first line, what that does, only the first line in the paragraph gets indented. Okay, click OK. And you can see here, only the first line has moved. Okay, and I guess it's a style of writing some people do, And you also have something called a hanging indent. You have first line and hanging is just the reverse. The last line moves in instead of the paragraph. Okay. We have got the last one here, bullets and numbers, and what do you apply them to? What do you apply bullets and numbers to? Lists. Okay, exactly. All right. Any list you have, you can apply to. There's a list here under hobbies. All right. This particular person's got a lot of things going on. Socializing, keeping fit, swimming, cycling, shopping, cinema, you name it. Friday nights a bit wild for this person. So obviously doing very well. Okay, so first thing to do is just highlight the list, okay? And with lists, you have two options. You can have a bulleted list or you can have a numbered list. All right, and there are variations within those lists as well, which you'll see in a bit. So let's just apply a standard bullet list to this. So in your paragraph group, if you look in your paragraph group, these two buttons up here, one's bullets and one is numbers, okay? But you got bullets and you have numbers, and basically let's just click on the bullets one, okay? And it applies some bullets. If you find that's a bit boring, you can click on the little drop down next to your bullets and apply a different style. You can have ticks. You can have ticks as well for that one. You can have a different style, a swirly whirly. You can even define a new bullet and basically um, include a picture of someone as a bullet point. You can actually format, if you were doing like birthday cards or Christmas cards, you can actually have a list of a cake as a bullet number, you know. But we won't go too much into that, but it's quite a cool feature. Okay, with your list still selected, try adding some numbers. Try changing it to a numbered list, okay? And you'll see that it changes to 1 to 7. And you can also change that to other types of numbers like Roman numerals or other types of list as well. So I'm just going to switch back over to bullets over here and choose my ticks. All right, and that's a pretty neat feature. You can actually organize these things as an organizational tool as well. If you click onto at the end of football, okay, click at the end of that football list and just hit enter, press enter on your keyboard. You'll see that it creates, it puts in a bullet point for you automatically, doesn't it? All right. Now, what if you wanted to elaborate on football? Say you're trying to organize something and you want to maybe talk about teams or something. So you need a subcategory. Okay. Just press the tab on your keyboard. Okay. Your tab is like the third key down on the left of your keyboard. Click on tab, and what happens? Yeah, you have different teams. You know, you have like you know, you can put something like Liverpool or Liverpool, hit enter, you know, Chelsea, you know, you can have those 2 bullet points on there, you know. And what if you wanted to elaborate even further on Chelsea? If you wanted to say, oh, well, ticket prices or something like that, hit enter again and tab, and the bullet points changes again, and you can type in ticket prices. You know, shirts and so on. You know, you have all those options. So when I say it's a good organizational tool, it just means you can organize one thing into several other things, which is pretty cool. Okay, moving swiftly on. We need to look at something called find and replace data, and that means, for example, if someone sent you a very large document, say 10,000 words, and they said to you, well, look, you need to change this word that comes up in this document. It comes up 100 times. Can you go through it and change it for me? You know, so say they got someone's name wrong. Someone called Sue, they was spelled as Joan. So you have to go through this document and change that 100 times. That's going to take up all your day, isn't it? So there's a tool called Find and Replace. It will search for this word and replace it with this other word for your document automatically. Okay, now the first thing I want to show you is that if you're creating a document, all right, and you basically want more vocabulary, you want to be able to come across really like you know your stuff, you know all these fancy words and stuff like that. There's a really very nice tool that shows you this. If you right click on the word company, so there's a bit here that says currently out of work due to company closure. Right click the word company and go to synonyms. There's an option there that says synonyms. And it's telling me that, well, instead of company, I could be saying business, corporation, firm, concern, establishment, syndicate, enterprise, house. All right, so I can say, well, let's change it to firm or establishment for that matter. Okay? Okay, that is just a side note really, that you can basically come up with different words, different vocabulary by using the synonyms tool, by right clicking in any word and basically choosing the right option there. Now, to demonstrate find and replace, we want to sort of replace the word company with firm. Okay, the word company comes up a couple of times in this document, and we want to replace the word company with firm. So we need to go to the home menu, go to your home menu tab, and go to your editing group at the end, and click on replace. Okay, so where it says find what, we're going to type in there, we're going to find the word company, isn't it? That's the word we want to replace. And we want to replace it with firm. We're going to replace the word company with firm, and then just click on replace all. Replace all occurrences of that word. Click on that. And what does it say when you do that? It's made 3 replacements, okay? And if that was our document with 100 occurrences of the word Sue, it would go through it and change it in one go, just like that.
Now I know what teachers used to do.